Today I would like to take you on a journey through some old and older games, merchandise, books, cans, anything that brings that nostalgia back. And I just thought it would be something super fun to do leading up to the release of Pokemon Snap, because a lot of you played Pokemon Snap when you were little, or as you grew up you played it on an emulator, or even at like a bar that has some retro games. I have not played Pokemon Snap, so I am super excited to play it on the Nintendo Switch at the end of this month. But in the meantime, I will take you on a journey through some of my memories. Some of these I've gotten over the years from other people, like there's a lot of Sinnoh things in there that I got from friends as they're clearing out cupboards, and then a lot of them were donated to me or given to me as birthday gifts, but there's also a lot of them that I got when I was quite young, so I'm looking forward to show it to you. There will also be a video that is partnered with this, which you'll also find on my channel, which will be going through the items again, but not with me talking, and just showing them to you, presenting them to you, and showcasing like the different sounds and seeing if we can find some tingly sounds from that. Very much an ASMR style video, but it can also just be relaxing, go to bed and wind down from the day kind of video. So I hope you enjoyed both videos. Please remember to share this with some friends and let people know about the other content on my channel. Enjoy! I got this case from a friend in Canberra when I moved to Australia, but inside is something that I've had ever since primary school, probably grade 4, so 2005, yes. And it's my Game Boy Advance SP, and this is absolutely still my favorite console. Maybe a little bit of nostalgia, but I think honestly mostly I loved just having the one screen, and the DS and the 3DS really challenged me with that. I love that the Switch is back on one screen, and it still works. Isn't that just so nostalgic? And I have Fire Red in here because that's what we're going to talk about next. I don't think I played that many hours of Fire Red. 71. I played a little bit of Leaf Green on an emulator before I got while I was waiting for shipment from the UK. Alright, so let's find. So I think the Sun and Moon steel books were really nice. But let's go through this one first. So it came with, we had proper Wi-Fi trading. We used infrared training, and I didn't actually use this ever because no one else had one. I had a proper link cable, but this was a little device that you'd plug into the Game Boy, and then if your friend had it as well, got that far apart, you could trade to each other. I like the link cable. I thought it was cool. It still works. And this is something that I miss so much. I miss the booklets. Like I said in my previous video, I used to read the Sapphire one over and over. I should read the Dutch side too, because it's close enough to Afrikaans that I could understand it mostly, and because I knew the book so well. There's my girl. Love cosplaying as Trainer Leaf. Definitely check out my Instagram for some of my Trainer Leaf cosplays. And yeah, I just really like this. I know now we have the internet, but I think to, especially when we're trying to encourage emerging literacy in children, to have a book like this that comes with the game that they can just sit down and explore, and it's not an additional how many ever dollars those guides are that are redundant anyway in a while. And look, it even had an ad in it for linking your Game Boy Advance SP with the GameCube. I never had a GameCube, so it was always just teased with these little books that showed it. It looked so cool. my friend's GameCube actually still works. And then they would talk about Nintendo Power, which you could register your game on. It's basically a trainer guide, so that's kind of what I was saying. That's when they started doing a lot of these trainer guides, but at least they still set you up with a little booklet. That's just your manual to the Game Boy. And here is a little poster. Oh, that's cool. It was all these different aspects of Pokemon at the time. So you had Pokemon Colosseum, Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, Game Boy Advance Video. Okay, we'll get back to that. Pokemon Box. Oh my goodness. What are these things? I think that's maybe the TCG. And then the anime. That was just when the anime came out. And for the first time ever, we saw new cast. So we had the player's guide, and then the ultimate storage utility for the Pokemon Maniac. Link up with Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. What? There was an online storage system in the time of Ruby and Sapphire called Pokemon Box? Maybe I should make like a whole different video about that. Oh yes, I remember the Game Boy Advance Video. You could actually watch bits of the anime on your Game Boy, which is wild to think of now. Like, that would have been amazing. It is a tiny screen, but still. Okay, well, before we finish up with the Kanto region, let's go. Might keep you out. Let's keep some of the things out. I got these badges only a few years ago. This is that lovely scene from the Pokemon short from Pokemon 3. I really like these. I think they're quite pretty. And then there's one that's a little bit more artistic. That's just a fan-made little badge. I wear a lot of these badges on dresses. I just got multiple ones. That's why those are still in plastic. And you can still get Pokemon in candy, like those little candy vending machines where you put the coin in and you turn it and then something falls out. I guess, yeah, it is a bit like a vending machine. Yes, we have a Pikachu one. And speaking of more like fan arty type thing, we have bottle cap like Jigglypuff and just our cast of old favorites. And as I mentioned perhaps earlier, here we have Pez. This is not one from like the early 2000s. I had a Mew one, but recently you can buy them again. So I didn't even know Pez was still in business. So I don't even have any sweets for it anymore, but they were quite tasty. Nanoblocks. Now Nanoblocks were all the rage in around, I think 2016 they made quite a good comeback. Because I remember it was around about the time when Alola became a thing. But yeah, I haven't built my Nanoblocks yet. If that's something that you'd like to see me do on the channel, or kind of also do like a relaxing nighttime ASMR video, please let me know in the comments below. Because I think that might be something relaxing to do together. And then in Canberra at one of the Asian grocers, they have these cans. I think you can actually get them up here now as well. With different Pokemon. I have a Bulbasaur one. I really like the Snorlax one because they always have a lot of the starters, and I thought, yay, have some Snorlax representation. And then this is something that I made when I started the Crystal Badge, which was before a lot of Pokemon hair accessories and necklaces and things came out around 2015. I put some Tazos in resin and made necklaces and bows and cufflinks and tie clips, and I really liked it, and that was actually the start of the Crystal Badge, and then it became a YouTube channel. And I used to have an Etsy store, and I went up to a convention in a town quite far north in Australia called Cairns. And yeah, it was a lot of fun just selling all these little crafty items. I never thought I was a crafty person until I tried. And I got this badge from one of my friends. It's a Team Mystic badge. I wear it on my dresses quite often. I quite like it. I would have put it on this shirt, but I'm enjoying the water tri patches. So moving on to some of the newer covers. This is not the box art. The box art still kind of look like this, to be perfectly honest, if you don't remember it or you got it digitally. But the steelbook, I really like the way they did this. I like how clean it is. I love the different Pokeballs on each side. And then of course we have the 3DS game, Pokemon Ultra Moon. If you didn't play Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, I fully recommend. I think that you should just jump straight ahead to Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I don't think it's necessary to play the one or the other. I think this is the more complete game, and I had a lot of fun in Alola. I honestly still miss Alola quite a lot. Now quickly jumping back a generation, where these ones we got with the TCG. I got these tiny little plushies. You guys have seen my many Pokemon plushies that I've gotten, mostly from friends that have been to Japan and had a lot of different plushies. But these ones I borrowed tonight from the anime club. I just thought they were nice because they're not the evolutions you normally see. So thank you Leafeon, thank you Sylveon. So they can go back over here. Getting to the Nintendo Switch this time, we have the Pokeball Plus. I think that a lot of people didn't like it just due to it being a little bit of a gimmick. I originally thought it was quite a good idea to have a Pro Controller that's in a completely, a Joy-Con in a completely different shape. There's a button there, so you had your A button, B button, and obviously because in Pokemon Go you throw the Joy-Con out to catch the Pokemon as you would in Pokemon Go. I really like the size for a Pokeball. I think it's really good quality. You can use it with Pokemon Go, which I will actually do tomorrow because it's Community Day tomorrow. So I haven't used this in ages. It wasn't really something I used. I used it as a Joy-Con in Let's Go. It hurts my hand sometimes because it's the shape that it's in, so that's why I preferred the Joy-Con, but I think it's quite beautiful, and I hope that Nintendo makes more different shaped Joy-Cons. I think that would be quite fun. This I randomly just got from a friend. I think it's a McDonald's toy, but you press the button and then it shoots out a disc. This one has an Alolan Executor on, so that was quite fun. I like it just this because then in general cosplay, if people don't know what you're cosplaying or you're cosplaying quite casually and you have that on your belt, it's a little bit more clear. And I also like that it's purple because it suits my Crystal Badge theme that's blue and purple. Still think that's quite funny given that red is my favorite color, but we shall persist. And now getting into Gen 4 Fever. You guys finally got your Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I'm so excited to finally play in the Sinnoh region. But I enjoy the anime a lot, and this is a manga from the Darkrai movie. So the art style is slightly more chibi than in the actual anime. Although I guess that's canon now. I thought that they did really well to actually bring a manga out for this movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot more due to seeing it at different points in my life where it meant quite a lot. I do recognize that it's not the best Pokemon movie, and I don't even think it's my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon movie, but I am very fond of it. The lullaby, especially at the end, more like an enduring theme. But yes, so really happy with this. I got this from some students that I tutored in high school, so I thought that was really nice. They got it for me for my birthday. Next we have another book, but this is from much further back, and this is from the early 2000s. It's yellowed with age. It had quite a young Mia coloring in, and this was amazing to me. I don't think I can emphasize, wow, that's awful. I'm not the best drawer. I still am not, but I cannot emphasize enough, in South Africa we did not have a lot of Pokemon merch when I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. So when my mum's sister bought this for me, it meant so much. Oh, look at this lovely pastel. But yeah, so this was incredible for me to own at the time, and I'm still very thankful, and I still have both copies that I got. I got this one, and then I got one with a Snorlax on top. We have Tazos, or Tazos. These are ones that I've gotten from friends over the years, simply because these are the ones I chose because they've definitely seen better days. So I thought if for the ASMR section I start rubbing them together, I won't feel so bad, whereas the ones that I grew up with are a bit more like this, like they still have a little bit of their sheen to them, and they're in like a protective plastic holder, I guess. So these are from generation 1 and some of 2. Let me just see. We have this one from generation 2. As you can see, the background is slightly different to what you'd see in Gen 1. I used to really enjoy collecting these in chip packets. Then we were looking at the TCG before. I actually have some brand new Battle Styles packs here that I would love to open towards the end. So let's go back to some old cards, and I mean these weren't printed. Actually, this specific one might have been printed in the 90s, but most of these are just older cards. We got a Meowth. This was one that I really favored. I didn't really care much for the TCG at the time. I thought a lot of it tried to look more like modern animation. I much preferred when they brought up, for example, the Alolan cards. The art style was a bit more as if an artist actually sat down and drew it, whereas some of these cards from the late 90s just felt a bit computer generated, and it just wasn't my favorite. Now, most of you know and remember the TCG, especially because it's a little bit back in the YouTube spotlight. But what you might not know is there was another card game back in probably 2001, maybe a bit earlier, called Pokemon Junior Adventure Game. And this game had beautiful Kanto region. I love these little like Pokédex drawings, and it basically took you through the first 2 episodes of the anime, and you would encounter these different Pokemon as you went. And what I mean with went is you would have something like tokens, and you would have a deck of cards, and like what amazing is that art style. So I really adore this art style on the cards. I loved that Dexter was on the side, so I'll put some examples out. A lot of these drawings you would know, like this was Squirtle's official drawing for such a long time. But then some of the drawings are ones we hadn't encountered before. So I was really fond of that. Like, isn't that just the most adorable photo of Eevee? And I know Eevee's really popular now, but Eevee was just another Pokemon back in the day, which seems so odd now. How cute is that Raichu picture? And we have Nidorino. Sorry, Nidoran. It's a Nidoran. So basically what happened is, see how it has like the HP at the top? So you would go through your adventure book and then you'd read through the story, and then you would encounter a wild Pokemon. And let's say you're fighting with Nidoran, then you can use Nidoran to attack this, but you have to, I think you had to roll a dice or you had to flip a coin. I can't quite remember, and there were variations of the game because for older kids it could be you can use the Pokemon, and when you catch a Pokemon you can use that. It even had a little Pokédex blurb, so Nidoran's barbs on his head release a powerful poison. Or you can just use whatever starter that you picked and go through with that, and then the other Pokemon were just for collecting. But I love this game, really happy with the quality. I've had this since I was probably 6, maybe 7, but I think 6. And they've aged really well, so I don't think it's just because I looked after them. I actually just think because they were really good quality cards. So that was fantastic. I wish they would bring out more games like this for Pokemon, like more tabletop games. I think it would do really well. Of course there are homebrew like Dungeons and Dragonites and things out there, but yeah, I just thought those were quite cool. Speaking of tokens and that, these you used to get with the actual Pokeballs, like with the little figurine in, and I had a Latias that was in a luxury ball, with all these like lovely art styles of Latias. And then I also had a Torchic one, which is why I chose Torchic as my first ever Pokemon in Pokemon Sapphire, because my mom brought me a Pokeball along with little Torchic in. Well, a figurine of Torchic, not an actual Torchic. That would have been chaos. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head over to the other video that I made showcasing the items in a different style, and I'm really excited to get more creative with the videos on my channel and kind of throwing all the colors of paint at the wall and seeing what kind of creativeness we can explore on the channel going ahead this year. So I hope you support that. Remember to follow me on all of the socials. I'll be putting up more cosplay photos on Instagram and just generally paying more attention to Twitter and updating Ko-Fi. Let the battle for the crystal badge begin.